One clematis is covered with bright, colorful flowers. Another, growing only a few feet away, has long green vines but not a single bloom. Both receive sunshine. Both are watered. Both appear healthy. Yet one fills the garden with color while the other stays quietly green year after year. That can feel frustrating, especially when you've been giving your plant the same care you give the others. Here is the surprising part. The problem usually is not a lack of fertilizer. It is also not because your clematis is too old. In many gardens, the real reason comes from something people do with the best intentions. After watching clematis grow through many changing seasons, one pattern appears again and again. The plants that look the healthiest are not always the ones that produce the most flowers. If this feels confusing, you're not doing anything wrong. By the end of this video, you'll understand 5 simple changes that can encourage blooming, even if you prefer a low-maintenance garden and sometimes forget a few gardening tasks. Before explaining why this happens, it helps to understand how a clematis decides when it is ready to flower. It is easy to believe that long vines and thick green leaves are signs that flowers are just around the corner. Sometimes that is true. But with clematis, healthy growth and blooming are not always connected in the way we expect. A plant can spend most of its energy producing stems and leaves while making very few flower buds. That means a strong-looking plant may still disappoint when flowering season arrives. The goal is not simply to grow a larger plant. The goal is to help the plant place its energy where it matters most. Once you understand that flowering follows different rules than leafy growth, many of the mysteries surrounding clematis begin to make sense. One of the most common mistakes actually happens before spring arrives. Many gardeners clean up their plants during late winter or early spring, trimming away stems that seem old or untidy. Feels like the right thing to do. After all, pruning often encourages fresh growth. But with clematis, that same careful pruning can sometimes remove the flower buds before they ever have a chance to open. This is why 2 plants that look almost identical can respond very differently after being pruned in exactly the same way. The answer is not that one gardener has better luck. There is another reason hidden beneath the surface, and understanding it changes everything. The secret is that not all clematis bloom in the same way. Some varieties produce flowers on old wood. That means the buds formed during the previous growing season stay on the plant through winter, waiting for warmer days. If those stems are cut away too early, the flowers disappear with them. Other varieties bloom on new wood, creating fresh buds on new spring growth. These plants can usually be pruned much more heavily. Then there are varieties that bloom on both old and new wood, giving a longer flowering season but needing a gentler approach. Plant labels often mention the variety but do not always explain what that means for pruning. Once you know which type you have, many years of confusion suddenly become much easier to understand. Fortunately, encouraging more blooms does not require complicated routines. Start by pruning only when it matches your plant's blooming habit. Next, make sure your clematis receives enough sunlight. Most varieties appreciate several hours of direct sun each day, while their roots prefer cooler conditions. A layer of mulch or a few small companion plants can help shade the soil without blocking the sunlight above. Feed your plant with a balanced fertilizer instead of one that is high in nitrogen. And finally, give newly planted clematis time to settle in. Some plants spend their first year building strong roots before producing their best display of flowers. Patience often becomes one of the most valuable parts of successful gardening. Many gardeners believe that adding more fertilizer will naturally produce more flowers. It sounds reasonable, but this idea often leads to disappointment. Too much nitrogen encourages fast leafy growth. The vines become longer, the leaves become larger, yet flowers may become fewer. Instead of feeding heavily, choose a balanced fertilizer and apply it according to the instructions. A steady, moderate approach is usually kinder to the plant than frequent feeding. Remember that healthy soil, regular watering, and proper sunlight work together with fertilizer. None of these pieces can completely replace the others. When they stay in balance, the plant is much more likely to reward you with blooms. Your local climate also plays an important role. A clematis growing in a cool northern climate may behave differently from one growing where summers are long and hot. In colder areas, Winter helps some varieties complete their natural cycle. In warmer regions, strong afternoon heat may cause stress, especially if the roots become too warm. Plants growing in containers can dry out faster than those planted in the ground. Windy locations may also dry leaves and soil more quickly. Because of these differences, it is not helpful to compare your garden with someone else's. Two gardeners can provide excellent care and still see different results simply because their growing conditions are not the same. Sometimes the biggest clue is hidden below the leaves. Many people focus on the vines climbing upward but forget to look at what is happening near the base of the plant. Clematis enjoys cool, protected roots. When the soil becomes hot or dries out too quickly, the plant can become stressed even though the top still looks green. A layer of mulch helps keep moisture in the soil and reduces sudden temperature changes. It is also worth checking whether nearby plants are competing heavily for water and nutrients. These small observations often reveal problems that are easy to miss at first. Once the roots become more comfortable, the whole plant often responds with healthier growth and better flowering over time. The good news is that most blooming problems are not permanent. Your clematis is rarely asking you to work harder. More often, it is asking you to understand how it naturally grows. Avoid heavy pruning unless you are certain which type of clematis you have. Watch for new shoots, notice where flower buds appear, and allow the plant to guide your decisions. Gardening becomes much more enjoyable when observation replaces guesswork. If you're comfortable sharing, I'm curious whether your clematis grows in the ground or in a container, and how often it rewards you with flowers. Every garden teaches something different, and your experience may help someone else as well. With a little patience and a few thoughtful adjustments, your clematis can surprise you with beautiful blooms season after season. The most rewarding gardens are not always created by doing more. They are created by noticing small changes, understanding what each plant needs, and giving nature the time to respond. Sometimes the garden improves when we simply step back and observe, especially if the roots become too warm. Plants growing in containers can dry out faster than those planted in the ground. Windy locations may also dry the soil much faster than sheltered gardens. Even the amount of morning or afternoon sun can make a noticeable difference. Because of this, it is not helpful to compare your clematis with a friend's plant or with pictures you see online. Two gardeners may provide exactly the same care, yet their plants can behave very differently because their growing conditions are not the same. Instead of asking why another clematis blooms earlier or produces more flowers, ask what your own plant is telling you. Gardening becomes much less frustrating when you learn to observe your own environment rather than trying to copy someone else's. Another surprising clue is often hiding where few people think to look. Most gardeners spend their time looking at the climbing vines and waiting for flower buds to appear. But the real story often begins much lower, around the roots. Clematis enjoys what gardeners often describe as warm heads and cool feet. In other words, the vines and flowers appreciate sunlight, but the roots prefer to stay cool throughout the growing season. When the soil becomes too hot, the plant may begin protecting itself instead of putting energy into blooming. The leaves can still look healthy, making the problem difficult to notice at first. One of the simplest ways to help is by covering the soil with a layer of organic mulch. Mulch helps the ground hold moisture longer and keeps temperatures more even during hot afternoons. Small companion plants can also provide gentle shade around the base without blocking sunlight from reaching the climbing vines above. It is also worth looking for hidden competition below the surface. Nearby shrubs, trees, or thirsty perennials may be using much of the available water before your clematis has a chance to absorb it. If that happens, the plant experiences stress even though you continue watering regularly. Sometimes moving nearby plants is unnecessary. Simply watering more deeply, rather than more often, can make a noticeable difference. One thing experienced gardeners notice is that clematis rarely changes overnight. Unlike annual flowers that respond quickly, clematis often rewards patience. You may make one small improvement this season and not see the full results until the following year. That delay can make people think nothing worked, when in reality, the plant has been quietly building stronger roots and healthier stems. This is why rushing from one solution to another usually creates more confusion. If you prune heavily, change fertilizer, move the plant, and increase watering all at the same time, it becomes impossible to know which change actually helped. Gentle adjustments followed by careful observation often produce the best long-term results. There is also one simple caution worth remembering. If you are unsure which clematis variety you own, avoid aggressive pruning until you can identify it. Removing too much growth at the wrong time may remove the very buds that were preparing to bloom. Waiting a little longer and observing where new growth appears is usually the safer choice. Over time, you'll begin noticing small signs that your plant is becoming happier. New shoots may appear stronger. Leaves may look fuller and healthier. Tiny flower buds may begin forming where none appeared before. These quiet changes often arrive before the spectacular display of blossoms everyone hopes to see. The wonderful thing about gardening is that success rarely comes from doing everything perfectly. It comes from understanding how each plant naturally wants to grow. Clematis is no different. Once you learn its rhythm, caring for it becomes much simpler and much more enjoyable. If you're comfortable sharing, I'd love to know about your own clematis. Does it bloom every year, or has it been growing lots of leaves with very few flowers? Your experience could encourage another gardener who is facing the same challenge. Remember, a beautiful garden is not created by constant work. It grows through patience, careful observation, and small thoughtful decisions made over time. Sometimes the healthiest choice is not adding another product or trying another complicated technique. Sometimes it is simply giving your plant the right conditions and allowing nature to do the rest. Many of the most rewarding gardens belong to people who have learned one simple lesson. Plants often tell us exactly what they need if we take the time to watch them closely. A few small changes today may reward you with beautiful clematis flowers for many seasons to come. And perhaps the most comforting lesson of all is this. Sometimes the garden improves not because we work harder, but because we understand more.